Hello and welcome back to another episode of Dev Talks podcast, where we talk about everything that has to do with engineering, technology, what's set and with tech in the future and all of that. Welcome back with your host Travian, man. I'm always excited to be here, man. A lot of updates coming this week. I don't know if by the time this episode drops, but definitely before the next episode, we'll also be on podcasters and Google Podcasts to kind of give out that outreach. I talked about this in a previous episode. I don't recall which one it was. It was a few episodes ago and things. Um, Gonna have it all set up, and by the next, I want to make sure that's all done right, and I'll upload all the audio episodes and things like that to those two platforms as well too. I'm gonna change the link tree up so that it's only strictly for the podcast, and then I'm also gonna start posting to the podcast Instagram page as well too, which I will link into the descriptions of these episodes. So check in the description, go follow that. You'll find some clips as well there. You'll start seeing more clips on YouTube as well too. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to that and who likes the episodes and things. Don't forget, always share and comment and subscribe, like all that stuff really helps it out. So I really appreciate it. And let's get into what this episode is going to be about real quick. First, more news on Twitter. Then we have some gaming topics to really briefly go over and dissect some. And then we also have stuff about some electric cars that I want to go over and certain features that car companies are trying to implement now that they're moving into electric. They have more capabilities and stuff. So we're going to get all into that. And so let's really get into it and dive in. Let's go. Now let's get into this episode, man. So much has happened, so little time, the usual and everything. We always seem to be talking about the same few topics, but there's new news on them going on every day. So we're gonna sit here and go through them, and I hope everybody is able to enjoy this. The first thing first is the Twitter announcement that happened recently. So Twitter removed all legacy check marks. So everybody, whoever got verified and stuff like that before the Twitter blue and everything, all of those check marks, poof, gone. Imagine. Imagine all these people losing their verifications, and now it's kind of a sense of where everybody's gonna have to pay for Twitter Blue if you want to have that kind of level of verification and things like that. And that's what it seems like for the most part. That's how that's what everybody was thinking. A lot of celebrities and other people were like, "Oh, they're not paying for the $5 for their verification. Like it's not worth it," and all this other stuff and things. And it's actually funny because one of the people who said that was LeBron James. And when the check marks went away that first day, he still had his check mark, and it was talking about he had Twitter Blue. So everybody was like saying he's a liar, he ended up paying for it, and they're always showing it because there's a lot of interviews and stuff where LeBron gets caught like lying in an interview or something like that, or people are like, "Oh, he's just making stuff up" and things. So due to that going on and everything, Elon Musk actually came to his aid and ended up saying he's paying for a few of the people's check marks for Twitter Blue. So now Elon's out here paying for certain celebrities and people's check marks apparently so that they have it. And this is just day one of the madness. Day day two gets a lot funnier and stuff because now all of a sudden the next day after like had Elon had said that and everything, I think he I don't think he's like paying for it. I think he just gave it to Twitter Blue to certain people because the next day a bunch of people were like, I am not paying for Twitter Blue, blah blah blah. Like one, it could be a trend and maybe they are paying for it and they're just lying and saying they're not paying for Twitter Blue and things like that. But for them to lie, there's a specific trend that came with everybody who said they weren't paying for it, but it came up and showed that they were verified and they still had their check mark. The common ground between all these people is that they had over 1 million followers on Twitter. So apparently, if you have over 1 million followers on Twitter, you get your verification for free and stuff like that. So I'm actually curious on how that's actually gonna work out for the future and stuff. Cause say somebody else hits a million, um, is there like an application they send, or does Twitter automatically update after some time when somebody hits a million followers, like the next day or something, that and gives them the Twitter Blue and the verification process and things, and they don't have to pay for it? If they are already paying for it, can they cancel their subscriptions? Who do they talk to? Can they talk to Elon and tweet at him to get it done? Do they go to Twitter support? And all of these possible test cases are all out there. So actually very curious to see how that would work out, especially in the future, because a lot of people lost their stuff. It's actually kind of weird because some of my favorite content creators, hold on, like I watch a few streamers like ScumTK who I've had on the stream and things like that, and like Your Rage, or there's also a few other bigger people who aren't like who are bigger than them, who aren't at a million, but maybe they're like at 600,000 or 800,000, and they're kind of 500,000, somewhere around that range, where their Twitter following is very huge, but they're not able to have the check marks anymore and stuff without paying for it because they're not at that million mark. So this is also another way how I came to this conclusion of everything. But what I was saying is it's kind of weird because for years or whatever that I've been on Twitter, I've always seen them with a check mark. And now with for them not to have a verified check mark, it's like, is this really them or stuff? There's always running into those kind of issues that you're gonna kind of run into and stuff as time goes on, and like stuff like that's just gonna happen. And what are you gonna take for it? Like, I also talked about these issues before, like, be- for these people to actually verify themselves, paying for it is kind of crazy to verify yourself. Like, I thought there was when I thought of verification, I thought you had to like be in some article and be known and probably have a certain amount of followings and stuff, and then you apply for your verification. And that's how you were to get it before and stuff, unless like the head of the company just knows you and you just gave your verification because you're like a big celebrity or something and stuff. So, but it's actually very weird because now, if these people have to pay money to verify themselves, and what if somebody gets them confused for somebody else? And this comes back into that issue to where people were making fake accounts and buying Twitter Blue that were verified and lying on what companies said that they were going to do and things like that. And it caused a bunch of crashes and all this other stuff and things like that going on. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. And a lot of possibilities that can happen still from this, especially with these larger creators. And it kind of puts them in a boat to where if they're big but not that big, should they pay for it? Should they not? What do they want to do? Um, I'm sure a lot of them don't care. A good amount of them probably just don't care that much, and they're just gonna chill out and see that. But now this is another thing. So a lot of the social media apps, just like Facebook, they like to copy per se of what other social media things do. Like they copy the stories from Snapchat. They copied kind of Twitter Blue from Twitter into their new Instagram verification thing. So now what I believe is going to happen is that I think that Instagram will be the next social media website or platform to remove all the legacy verifications. You can see where I'm going from this, huh? So they're gonna copy Twitter just like they copy everything else because Instagram does that very well, implementing stuff into their things. They let other people do the trial runs, then they sneak it right into there. So they're gonna be next. They're going to then probably for their big creators do the same thing that Elon did, have them keep their verifications, and if you're not at the certain level, then you're gonna have to pay for it. So this just made me think of something else on top of that is now if you're only paying for a smaller fraction, like there used to be more verification people out there. Now, if you take out all the people who are under a million that used to be verified and stuff. Now, what does that mean for you if you have a verification process that costs money, that they have to subscribe to, and things like that? It means you get more money. So, Elon, clever as he is, found another way to make more money, but this is kind of like on some kind of Robin Hood thing because they're like bigger people too. They're not like the biggest, but like those mid-level to high, whatever, wherever you would categorize them as. This is he's making more money off of them now. If they really cared about their verification and and they want to make sure that people know who they are and things like that, this is that's what's gonna happen. So Elon's gonna make more money, and then when Instagram implements this, they're gonna make more money off of this because now there's people who actually care about it who may not be at that milestone mark for the social media platforms to actually pay for it. So that's where that's gonna go. And let me know what you guys think. If you guys totally agreed, let me know, man. I'm a full believer and that's what's gonna go on and things like that. And just count. I'm just saying, just count it and watch. Count the days and watch. It's gonna happen. I believe in patterns. Patterns and everything. Everything. There's patterns to everything. Like as I said, Instagram does this all the time. If they're gonna do this all the time, what makes you think they won't do it? And I am a firm believer that they will. And I'm also a firm believer that's how they're gonna try to figure out some more profits and things like that to help their bottom line margin. Yeah, bottom line margin. So that's all that we have though for social media. So to bounce off of that topic, we have more stuff about companies, but this is kind of a thing I haven't really talked about much is the gaming world. So I don't I believe back in this has nothing to do about the news topic or anything. This just has something to do about the gaming aspect. Uh I believe if I have not already, there has been rumors and stuff about AI and being used in video games and stuff like that. And I actually think that's a really good topic and stuff, but I want to make sure that I kind of crack down on all the resources and things so that I can give a pretty productive and helpful episode out about that because with all this AI stuff I've seen YouTube videos and other videos of how stuff is being used and how it can be used in games and a bunch of other things like that or how it's already been used. But we can get into all that later. The news for this time in gaming is Microsoft was recently blocked by the UK government from purchasing Activision. And I came across this because one on Twitter and stuff I follow a lot of game like a lot of technology things or I try to stay up to date with everything so it comes to resource search but also one of the streamers and content creators that I follow too, they also made a comment about Microsoft saying, "How about they just make better games?" When they seen this block happen that they were just trying to buy. Microsoft does have some good games and stuff. They typically ones that they make, it's been a stretch, I would say, it's been a while. Like, they don't, they don't they didn't deliberately, like, make the, like, Halo games and stuff, but those are the games that were relative to that in the Xbox and your Microsoft accounts. Minecraft it became the same thing, part of it, once when that was bought out from Mojang. Like, they buy these really nice games and these gaming companies and stuff, and that's like kind of been their bread and butter and stuff, buying these gaming companies. And when it comes to making their own games, story wise, I they can't compete with PlayStation. And like The Last of Us is such a beautiful game when it comes to story creation and stuff like that. Like it's just so beautiful and it was so perfect of a game. So like, they do their part, but when it comes to, like, Microsoft games, when I think of, like, Story games, the last things I can really think of, Halo, Assassin's Creed, probably, that are mainly more on the Microsoft side. Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing a few of them, but I just think PlayStation and Ubisoft or whatever, they have, or Naughty Dog came up with The Last of Us. But I believe like whatever exclusive story games on the PlayStation consoles, they're always way better majority over the Microsoft games and stuff like that are released on PC and Xbox. And it's also because then these PlayStation games are exclusive. So now if you really think about this news that has came out, so why would Microsoft want to buy Activision? Well, Activision is also part of who Activision makes the Call of Duty games, but there's two branches of Call of Duty. Oh, I'm blanking right now. I know Activision makes one of them, and then other like one of them makes the Modern Warfare series, the other one makes the Black Ops series and stuff like that. So there's two ones they bounce off of each other year after year. Like one will come out with a game, then the other one will come out the other game, or like every 2 years or so. They'll bounce back and forth and things like that. So now if as I said, like if they can't compete in the gaming world and stuff, and if they can't find ways to make better games, this is really a trend I feel for them. They just buy games straight up. So this getting blocked is actually great because now certain Call of Duty games aren't blocked by or aren't going to become exclusive to like the PC and Xbox and stuff. It can still stay in their main branch of PlayStation, even if they did buy them, I think they would still let them on PlayStation and stuff. But what this does for Microsoft and the reason why the UK government blocked it is because of the unfair competitive market that is going to like explode. It's going to basically blow up the market and stuff. That Call of Duty is such a big franchise. It doesn't matter how bad the games have been recently. There's still so many people who play the games. There's so many people who watch the games. Still so many people who grind out the games, and it's the same stuff year after year. The Call of Duty is. There's some new stuff, new maps. They bring some maps back, revamp them, and stuff like that. But they make a Call of Duty is one of the most popular gaming franchises or gaming stories or whatever to ever exist. My whole life I've known about it, and everybody else's life. It's been everybody's childhood, everybody's teenage years, everybody's adulthood. I remember people used to call out sick just to play online early or finish the campaign early and things like that. It's so amazing of all the things that could have happened, that's happened with the whole Call of Duty franchise and how big it is. You have to give credit where credit due is due, even if like the game is dying and stuff like that, or maybe it's not as fun, or there's certain problems, and devs can do better and listen more to the community and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it can happen. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like it can definitely happen. A lot of stuff can get better. A lot of stuff can be done better and things like that. But the Call of Duty is is so big. Like if if Microsoft was able to buy Activision, they would easily have an unfair advantage. Like that's such a big slice of the pie in the gaming world. Like that they would be chunking off of and like having to themselves or having under them and stuff. And it would keep making it unfair. And I actually agree with the content creator. Maybe they should just make better games. If you make better games, you would make more money. You if you bring new ideas in the thing. See, this is the problem. Microsoft, if you buy a game franchise off of somebody, they're gonna keep making the same game. There's gonna come to a point where it's already come to that point for Call of Duty and Activision, even though they still make all this money, where there's nothing new to get out of the games. There's no new stories. There's no new like all this information. There's nothing super enticing and like something fresh. Like The Last of Us when it came out, the first and second part, that is fresh. That is unique. That is special. that is totally different. They made a whole TV show out of it. The first season was wonderful. So wonderful. I love that series. But that is something that's nice and fresh and new. What they need to do, what's going to happen is they're going to buy these franchises and keep buying them. And these franchises are going to produce the same thing. And then what's going to happen is that stuff is going to go down again. And then they're going to look at and try to buy another franchise that's popular and stuff to try to stay afloat with their gaming expertise. But no, I think they just need to start their own new gaming series or story or different game that's completely new, unique, and fun. Gaming has gone down so much in a while, and that's a whole rant that I can get onto another time and things. But we have something else to get onto for another topic later on. But I see, I can get a little heated and stuff. You can tell, like, I'm really getting into stuff because if they made better games, they wouldn't have this issue. People would throw money at them. They would throw money so, like, quickly to them. They'll buy it, they'll play it, they'll call out again. Like, it I wish games went back to the days where kids used to be able to just call out, be like, say they were sick and just stay home and wanna play. I don't really know if kids do that anymore. Like, I have younger siblings, and I don't ever recall any of them, like, trying to stay home sick to play a video game or talk about their friends staying home sick to play video games and stuff. I remember that from my childhood, and I'm gonna get into that when I talk about the whole AI thing and stuff and how gaming's gonna affect, because oh my gosh, this whole they can just do better. Like Microsoft like you're such a big company. You have so many smart engineers and people who work for you. You can do so much better than just trying to buy Activision out or trying to like m- be unfair or whatever way it is. Like you can just make better games, man. You can make better games. I 100% agree with the creator said. I believe it was Mark from RDC World or Your Rage. One of them two. I know one of them two are the one that who said it, but I definitely I definitely agree they should, man. Uh yeah. So yeah, that's enough about talking about that for now. We'll get more into like the whole gaming aspect and technology stuff in another episode. But last but not least is we have an electric car issue where electric vehicles are going to become pay to win. Funny how I was just talking about games before this, and then now we're talking about cars being pay to win. Games used to be pay to win, used to. They're more pay to win now than ever. You have all this other stuff that if you can pay to get extra stuff in games and get an advantage over other people by putting more money into the game, rather it just being cosmetics. And I can get into that more as well later, but to do this in a car is crazy. When I don't know how I just never thought about this when EVs were becoming very big and popular. I have no clue how I never thought about this or the possibility of this and stuff. They like to Let me put this in perspective. So I'm gonna talk about the news story that CNN reported on, and then I'm gonna start picking it apart some. So Mercedes has an electric car coming out for the SUV, and you can buy more horsepower with it. For $60 a month, you can have 60 more horsepower added to your car. For $90 a month, you can have 80 more horsepower added to your car. What does this mean? And note, Mercedes is not the only company that does this. I believe there's rumors of Tesla doing this, and there's also stuff about General Motors. I believe they make like Ford and stuff. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's other companies that are doing this with their electric vehicles. And this is where a problem is going to be, right? You are going to have all of these cars. You have a whole car line. Basically, everybody's gonna have a standard car. This is where we're gonna go in the future. Everybody's gonna have a standard car, and everybody's gonna pay this one price for the car. And when you already go buy new cars, you always get add-ons and stuff like that, and you can do this, or you can order a car fresh new and stuff like and other things like that. But what this is gonna do is imagine now you wanted heating seats in your electric car. 10 I mean, if horsepower buying more speed is 60 to $90 a month, heated seats, let's be generous. Let's be generous. If you want some heated seats in your car, $70 a month. Let's be nicer, $50 a month. Let's just say it's $50 a month. Say you live in a cold area, it's winter time. Hey, I only need heated seats for these few months. Maybe that works for you. You spend 150, $200, you have your heated seats for the winter. Hey, you're in a hot place, you may not need it. I can see how that can be convenient in a way. But cars as we have them now, a lot of them just come with the heated seats or come with the cooling seats, especially the newer models. So, for you as a car company to then take keep, keep everything in the car, but you charge people monthly subscriptions for all the bonuses and stuff, but you're keeping the car prices the same and things like that is going to be a whole nother thing that we're going to be able to go over and stuff. But that's just not wrong. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. It's not right. Like, if you need to be able to speed out of accidents and stuff like that, where you need more horsepower, then it should just come with the car. It should be that you should keep the car prices the same and things. But no, we see what's going to happen with these companies since they're not gasoline and they have more control over the programming. And like Teslas, they have updates that you have to bring to them back to the dealerships and stuff, where all these cars can just be brought back and or flick the switch of a button somewhere at a dealership somewhere in your car gets features unlocked and there's more subscriptions. It's going to give a giant headache. It's people are going to pay for it regardless, which is a tragic thing. But I just wish that it just came with everything. You just tell me the full price. If what I can say is if I can go there to buy the electric car and they tell me, "Hey, this is you can always get this later for an extra subscription, or you can pay this much more on the car and you can have it for as long as you have your car with no subscription." I'm going to take the part where it just comes with the car because I want that. And as I said, like, it may depend for some people. Some people may not need heated seats and they may need it for only 2 months or so. So they only buy it for 2 months. Then that's just how it works out for them. And that's how it's gonna be and things like that. But that's just stuff that's been going on my mind. That's how I'm thinking about these kind of things from now on. This is kind of how I want the episodes to kind of go and flow in kind of sense. I actually like this a lot more, having a few of these topics and bouncing things and diving a little bit deeper into them. I didn't really like having those little bit of shorter episodes that I've had the past few weeks and stuff. I kind of like actually sitting here. I'm able to think more and stuff. I'm really getting back into this. I can't wait for everybody to who haven't been on the other platforms to be able to listen to this on those other platforms, the Google Podcasts and Podcasters, when it comes out in the following week. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves and doing good and being safe. But thank you for just listening and sticking through this episode and stuff. If you guys want me to talk about anything specific, let me know. I have some ideas. I have some guests. I'm working everything out. I'm really on this, and I'm trying. I want to build this, and I want to get back into this. Lost away for a little while, but now I'm back, and I'm really gonna keep pushing it. So thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. Keep pushing it. Keep going. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good one, and peace out.